This week's episode of Reppin' the State Line podcast with John, George, and Josh is sponsored by Torbey Financial. Tony Torbey has been educating people about insurance and investments since 2002. Torbey Financial's focus is to keep their clients informed to what is going on in the markets and the economy, while helping them pursue their own dreams.
Good afternoon.
What's up, State Line?
Hello, State Line. Welcome back to this episode of Reppin' the State Line with John, George, and Josh. And again, today we are doing Sitting and Sipping with Torbey Financial. Tony Torbey is here with us. How you doing, Tony?
I'm fantastic. How are y'all today?
Doing
pretty
amazing,
well.
especially now that I smell tacos,
And
tequila.
tequila.
And what goes better? Tacos and tequila go awesome together. So
and water.
and water to wash it down in between. So we're here. This is our new segment. So Torbey Financial is sponsoring our sitting and sipping segments each month, and just having a great time. Last month we got together. We talked to you a little bit about financial trends, and we talked a lot about bourbon, which was a real good time. So
We have some good bourbon.
We-
Some good tequilas too, though.
So tell us a little bit about like what we have sitting here in front of us today, because you're a
So-
connoisseur of fine liquors. I know that.
So I started with the basic Cabo Wabo that you can get anywhere, and most of this stuff you can get anywhere. You just got to be willing to spend the money. But Cabo Wabo is a basic tequila that you can do shots with. A lot of people throw up because of it.
That is a clear
Very clear.
tequila.
Yep,
It's
yep.
almost like it looks like water or vodka.
It's very simply aged. I think it's less than 6 months. Don't hold me to it. I don't know a lot about tequila.
Okay.
So I'm going off the cuff other than what I wrote down here. And then you've got this Esperanto Gran Centenario. I don't know if I even said that right. This one's kind of cool because it's aged in New American oak barrels. And so it gives it that dark texture.
Got it.
And it's not that old, but it's pretty smooth. I picked this one up when I was in Mexico. I picked this one up in a duty free on my way back from Mexico. And I picked it up because the bottle was cool, but come to find out the tequila in here is actually pretty good. It's called Tequila Esperanto. And then this is probably, these next two are probably two of my favorite tequilas. This is 1942, basically Don Julio 1942. You know who introduced me to this? Benny from Francesco's.
Oh, all right.
So every time I go in there, he shot after shot after shot. And it's like, okay, I'm not driving home now.
I love Benny at Francesco. He's amazing. It takes care of his customers. I'll tell you.
Man, they've got a great selection of spirits and they've wines, and their food is amazing as well. But yeah, he does a heck of a job all the way around.
I can't get out of there without 2 bottles of wine and a dinner. Anytime I stop in there with my
All right.
wife, whether we're going for comedy night, we're there early. It's like
Oh yeah.
2 bottles of wine and a dinner before the comedy
Yep.
night even starts. It's
But
just-
not only is his restaurant great and he is a great person, he also supports a lot of the local youth sports teams. And obviously, you guys know my son plays for Rockford Baseball Academy, which Francesco sponsors.
Oh, wow.
They're one of our main.
You know, they would do
sponsors.
really well if they brought pizza out and gave it to the opposing team.
We're
And
actually having
about an hour before. a game. They'd be like
We're
dragging.
actually having a pizza party there. The kids are next Thursday, so
At
it'll be fun for them.
Francesco's?
Yeah, they're pretty
Nice.
excited.
Nice.
They gave us a fair amount of money and allowed us to revamp our indoor facility for the kids. So that was pretty exciting for
That
them.
is cool.
Yeah.
They give,
Nice.
I mean, the family, Benny, all of them give back so much to the community. So it is a good place to establish. And he's also a member of the Rockford Cosmopolitan Club.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're a
Yep.
member, I'm a
Yep.
member,
I'm a
George is a
member.
member, Josh maybe a member one day.
Maybe.
So, so giving back for, diabetes awareness, which
Oh,
tequila
that's
doesn't.
right. Yeah. Juvenile diabetes. That's right. With Cosmo.
So you were talking about
But,
the.
so this is a 2.5 years age.
Okay.
1942. This one, which I left for last, and this one was introduced to me by my wife's cousin, and this is a 6-year age tequila, which is almost
Oh.
unheard of.
That's,
And I'm telling you, these two here, you can drink it like it's water. It's smooth. I'd put it up against any liquor out there. So those two are so smooth.
both of those last
Yeah.
two, I took a sniff off because, sorry, growing up in the late 80s and early 90s, a lot of tequila shots, a lot of junk tequila.
Oh, yeah.
Little worms in the bottom of the bottle and
Oh yeah, you had to hold your nose.
hold your nose. You need 3 limes. You need the salt up like
Ugh.
crazy.
Yeah,
even the Cabo Wabo, which you're saying is the lesser of them, does not
It's
have
that
the
bad.
nose of a tequila. Like, you know how you, like, there were years when I couldn't even smell tequila without
I know.
Gagging.
gagging a little bit.
These last
Yeah.
3 are fantastic. Like you could sit here and sip on them all night. The first 2, they're okay. The first one is rough. Cabo Wabo's a little rough, but that's your
have you
basic.
noticed though, Cabo Wabo is
Clear.
clear
Clear.
as day.
Oh, you got a big pour too. That's good. I got a
Okay.
small one, I hope. Oh man, I think I got a bigger pour than
compared
yours.
to the last
I
one
think we all got a big pour there, Tony.
is
Someone's trying to get rid of their Cabo Wabo.
is like a off white, right?
Yeah.
Off clear. So
But they're in between, like, this is a clearish. You could see though, you know,
I mean, it's no comparison to Cabo Wabo.
kind of like wine when you beat the glass like it owes you money. You just
Cabo
give it a
Wabo's like
swirl and-
4,000 Kelvin right in your face, like ping. That's white.
All right.
That's clear.
all right, well,
Well, not only tequila though today, but we have tacos from 3 amazing places as well. So Mi Gordito over on 251 at the old Hollywood Diner location
Yep.
in Loves Park. Guana Juato,
Guana Juato.
Guanajuato at 15th and South Main. It's in the grocery store over there.
Oh, really?
And then Cantina Taco today, we have 2 locations for them. They're on Riverside. They're also in Stewart Square, basically right downtown in the Main Street district. So, I mean, I've had all 3 of these tacos
Never had any of
before, but I've never compared them head to head. And how are we comparing them today, Josh?
this time on like the pizza, we had 3 different types of pizza. It's kind of like our favorite pizza.
Yep.
We went with the traditional steak taco, Mexican style, how each establishment makes their steak tacos Mexican style.
And as you can see, as you're watching the video here, we have a lot of tacos on the table. So we'll open them as we go. But do we want to do a shot real quick, guys?
Yes. Let's get
Yes, sir.
Let's get
do
this Cabo Wabo.
Remember, just sip it though, all right?
Sip it.
And in front of you, it tells you all the notes. So I did all the tasting notes, the palate
All right,
notes,
so
the
you're talking
flavor, the
about-
finish.
You're telling me Cabo Wabo is gonna be nice, creamy, nutty, and toasty.
Oh, it smells like garbage.
Creamy,
Oh.
nutty, toasty aromas and flavors
There's
of
chocolate?
nougat,
Oh, I can
chocolate,
smell the nut.
roasted
Oh.
pineapple.
This is gonna taste
pecan,
horrible coming up.
with a soft, shy, dryish, light body and a warming, brisk
It's actually
finish,
not bad at all.
displaying accents of vanilla, tapioca, vanilla toffee, and spiced papaya.
You already took it?
He did. I didn't shoot.
I'm gonna give it a sip right now.
Oh,
It's not bad.
I put it and I switched it around like I was supposed to.
No, that was a bourbon roll. We didn't say that about tequila.
It's not
All
bad.
right,
No,
it's
it's
not a
not.
bad tequila. I mean,
Mm-mm.
again,
I was expecting way worse.
Yeah.
I can't shoot tequila anymore. This is not bad. I could sip on this. I wouldn't want to sip this like all
night.
day.
No.
But if somebody handed me a shot of this at a bar, I could slow sip it and not have an issue.
Yeah, so this was a brand new bottle about 3 days before my daughter's 18th, or I'm sorry, before her graduation from Hononegah High School. And then someone opened it and this is what's left. Like, what is it? Like an 1/16 of a bottle?
16th of a bottle left.
And I get up, I'm like, y'all were doing shots of tequila. They're like, Brad was pouring them all night long. They're in a basketball court taking shots of tequila. What do you do? Can't get mad at it.
Interesting.
Which the
None of them
basketball,
drove.
the basketball court is amazing over at your house. And so if you want to see pictures of it, you can actually see it in the Rockford Register Star last week.
It's for sale.
It is for sale. It is.
Make me an offer. I'll make me move.
That was your house.
Yes, that was his house.
Oh,
you
That
wanna
was
buy
his
it?
house on the cover
Yeah, sure.
of the Rockford Register
I
Star
could
on
afford it.
last Tuesday, was it?
I'll trade you the
So-
Tesla for it.
There we go.
Well, with the way gas prices are, that might be a good deal.
Exactly.
So speaking of gas prices though, Tony, like you're a financial planner, we knew that. We talked a little bit about this last month. Talk to us a little bit more about inflation right now.
Yeah, what's
Like,
happening?
I know
Well-
numbers came out on Wednesday.
What is it, 8.6%? It's the worst year in a long time, obviously, in decades. The biggest thing was right around 4th of July, since we're right around the corner. Last year we had a little jump in a cost to feed like 10 people. 4th of July picnic was up like 8%, 9%. Which people thought that was kind of a big deal. This year, that cost jumped up, double digits, 17%, greater than last year. So realistically, over 25% more expensive to feed a family or a party of 10 people. So, it went from, I think last year was like $59 and this year was like $67 or $68. So, inflation is obviously taking its toll on a lot of things. I think a lot of people are pulling back on what they're doing, and you're seeing that with the housing market. You're seeing that, you're seeing that obviously in the equities and, market as well, because everybody's afraid. But what I tell people is this: everything's going to come back to normal eventually. We go through these cycles. Now, it's been a while since we've gone through anything like this. Just remember, no matter how bad you think it is, you can live in the country of Turkey, where inflation is 80%. It has increased by 80% this year. That's what their inflation is.
That's unbelievable.
So what are we? We're sitting at 8 or 9, which is lower than we expected. Though initially, the feds, I think they had it wrong. And I'm just a financial advisor. Don't get me wrong. So I don't know everything. Half the stuff I'm probably wrong anyway. All of us are, but they got it wrong because they did not expect things to happen the way it did. And if they could have corrected it last year by increasing
Rates.
the rates more gradually, and it would have probably fixed what was going on now. But instead, they didn't think it was going to be this bad, and here we are. So,
And unfortunately, sometimes the Fed has to make big jumps to try and make it work, and that's what we're dealing with now. I joke with my clients all the time. Still, I go, when I bought my first house in 1997, I was grateful to get an adjustable rate mortgage at 9.75.
Heck yeah.
And that was an adjustable rate, meaning that we were 2 points lower than what the interest rate was at the time. So, the normal, in my opinion, from my experience, just being a homeowner for so many years, used to be somewhere between that 6 and 9% was the average always.
Yeah.
We dropped rates really low. The Fed dropped rates really low to offset the housing crash, to slow things down, to help people stay in their homes.
Back in 08, 09, when the housing crash happened, or the financial crash, the prime was 8.25.
Yeah.
Prime's not even close to that still. So what we're seeing, yes, it's drastic because you're seeing half a point. They're talking about 3/4 of a point, where they could have spread it out, like you said, and gradually do it, and it would have been a little bit less panic, I think. But if you look at historically, it's still not terrible.
But it's been 14 years since they made that adjustment. So
Yeah.
14 years seems like the norm. Like for you, Josh, 3% seemed like the norm for the last 14 years.
Yeah.
And now we're going back to where it was before the D08 financial and housing collapses. So
and I think when we first bought our house, we were at 4.5%. My first house back in 98, 99, I was at 7.25, and I was like loving life. Like, that was a great rate.
Yep.
Well,
So-
even when I bought my house in 2018, I got it for 5.3.
Right.
And that was for the first time home buyers. That's what they were running, 5.3.
Yeah. And right now, the rates have actually, on the mortgage side, come down a little bit of late, and they were consistently 6 and up, and now we're back into the 5s, which is,
Oh, nice.
and I think that's, projection. I was on a conference call the other day. We're hoping that we kind of hit like a little bit of a plateau, and we're going to settle in here in the 5s. We'll see.
And see, I have an assumable 2.375%. Can I say that?
you can say that.
As long as you can qualify.
As long as you can qualify, yes, Tony does for the house.
You can
his
give
home
my
is for
house
sale
at
right now.
2.375% interest. Assumable.
So for a portion of the
for
mortgage.
portion, for what I owe on it.
So that's a great deal too, as long as you can qualify.
So how does that work then? So do you establish 2 rates from the beginning?
You establish 2 mortgages. So you have my mortgage,
And then you have a
and then you do a second.
Gotcha.
So at our list price, I'm not,
I don't care.
you don't care, right? So our list price, we're at like $749. All right, that's our list price. This house is just, it's about $149 a square foot. We've got almost 5,000 square foot of living space, indoor half basketball court, custom bar, humidors, water softening system and reverse osmosis systems everywhere. 3-car garage that can actually fit 4 vehicles into it, but I have to call it a 3-car because that's legit. What is it? Just over an acre. The outdoor space has been completely redone. There's, beautiful patios and retaining walls. Like, you don't have to think about anything. You just walk in and move in.
I think the retaining wall though is, obviously, labor costs and
Oh, yeah.
all that stuff right now. That's
That's big money.
a big
money.
It's
money.
huge money. And the all brand new light fixtures, all brand new flooring throughout. The entire house has been redone. It's practically a brand new house. And, so at the price we're at, based on the square footage we're at, and looking at it. So if you take that mortgage, it's assumable, let's say 240 at that lower rate, and then you take a mortgage for the second one, your blended average would be somewhere in the mid fours.
It's not bad at
Not
all.
bad at all.
And that's a really good investment for somebody looking to come in and buy a house, because this is a unique
We
situation.
just talked about it, yeah, like a jumbo right now, you're in the sixes.
Yeah,
So 272.
Yeah, but if you did an arm, if you do like a 2-year or 5-year arm, you're in the fours, aren't you?
right now,
Yeah, so you do a 2-year, 5-year arm and then,
and see what happens.
yeah, then, just take your chances.
And it can't go up more than 1 point per year usually
Correct.
on an arm
Depends,
anyway.
yeah, it depends on the.
Most
which
of
one.
them are like
My
that.
rentals are on arms.
But that's the other thing.
Woo, but I'm like around 3% on them, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
But
cool.
But that's just the key. It's, we tell a lot of our clients, I'm sure you do the same thing. You find that dream house, you find the house you want to live in,
Yeah.
but the mortgage is something you're dating. That can change at any time. Rates go down, you refinance. Equity goes up, you refinance even regardless of what
But
the
you're
rate is,
only
or
gonna
you cash
find
out of it.
your dream home once.
You're only gonna find that dream home one time, so go for it.
Yep.
Just, it's, yeah, a lot of millennials should have bought 12 to 24 months ago, but there's also not enough inventory.
Right.
So, but it's
So-
still cheaper than paying rent. Have you seen what rents have done?
Oh, yeah, man, we're looking at renting a place down in Kentucky, buying a place in Tennessee and rents. It's basically a little bit more than $1 a square foot.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
On that note, I think
Yeah,
it's time for some
We're-
tacos.
All right, who's our first
We're gonna start
taco?
with Mi Gordito.
Mi
Mi
Gordito.
Gordito. And we're gonna score
Do we
these
need
just like
plates?
we did.
We need plates, don't we?
We need plates.
I got you. I got it.
Yeah, we need plates.
We'll need some plates, yes. So we're gonna score these just like we did way back when Repping the State Line first started, when George and I were running around Taco Tuesdays.
I joined in.
You did join.
Yeah,
in a
you
couple
were
of
you were
times,
on the Fozzies.
And we did one bite. Everybody knew the rules, and we're gonna do a score. Oh, they gave us lines with them too.
Yeah.
So there, I mean, right off the bat, let's just show. This is Mi Gordito. Let's tacos, limes, cilantro, onion, just beautiful stuff. Salsa on the side. Perfect. We'll have Josh just dole them out.
No, I'll just pass it around.
Okay.
Do we have to leave one for Paul?
We have to leave one
We
for
have to
Paul.
leave
Yes,
We do?
Paul.
So at the end, I think this, ready? So Paul's here in the office. He did have to take care of some business stuff. So if he can get on a little bit later, he said he would. But I think we leave the last tacos and don't tell him, and we know which ones they are,
Right.
and see what his are at the very end before we wrap everything up.
Should we? No sauce.
No sauce.
All
No
right.
sauce, just right as it is.
All right. let's-
As it, no lime, no
in.
nothing.
Nope.
All right, one
Cheers.
bite, guys. Everybody knows the rules.
For real? I'm not a corn tortilla fan.
Mm,
I'm really not either,
this is really good though.
Not bad.
but we kept them uniform to Mexican style tacos.
Right.
That's good.
All right,
Mm-hmm.
That's real good. What is it?
this is Mi
Mi
Gordito.
Gordito,
Mi Gordito.
which is a sit-down restaurant / I call it taco shop. So I lived in San Diego for a stint of my life. And they have these everywhere down there, and they're just taco shops. You can go in, get tacos, get whatever Mexican food you want. You can sit down, you can eat there, or take it to go. But it's more of like a fast food type of
Right.
taco shop instead of like a sit down, full plated meals, all that stuff.
Not bad.
So Tony, what are you thinking is the Torbey Financial score on this taco, 1 to 10? Just tasting it, not comparing to anything else, just tasting it. Out of every taco in your imagination you've ever had.
Man, I mean, I don't want to give anything a 10 because I'd say I'd give it 8. I'd have a bunch of these. They're
Mm.
good.
All right.
I'd recommend it. I'd say an 8.
And
Can I dumb it down if the next one's better? I'm gonna go with 8 on this.
You're gonna
one.
go with an 8.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
to be honest with you, I think Mi Gordito price point on their taco is one of the cheapest in town.
So great value.
Great value. Very
Now, George and I, if you go back through Repping the State Line on Facebook, we actually did his tacos when he was Carlitos
Mhm.
up in McChesney Park
Mhm.
before he had to move the lease from there.
You know.
So what's the Vision Insurance number on this one?
Go 7.7.
Ready? You gotta round up or down, bro.
Oh, you gotta do the points.
I'll tell you right now, because I was gonna give it probably what I gave it last time, and I'm gonna go with my EXP score of 7.9.
That's what you did.
Yeah, that's
It's
what I did
good,
last
man.
time I ate it, and he's still
one of the
holding
best-
true.
It's one of the
So-
best tacos I've ever had.
So Georgia Planet, what do you got here?
Tacos are good. This taco's delicious. I can eat it without sauce
Yeah.
and it's delicious. That's impressive.
Just plain.
But I gotta stay below, like, to me, all right, 6s and below is generic. Like, okay,
Right.
you need sauce. So it's definitely above us in the 7s. I would say 8 and 9s is like, it blows you away. I would go 7-9. 7-9. I don't want to quite put it in the 8s just yet, but I think it's pretty
So-
darn close.
Mi Gordito, the cool thing about them is they're open till like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, see, then it'd be a 10. But if
So-
I'm there at 2, 3 in the morning, that means I had a pretty good
So-
day and that's.
so
yeah.
Guys, just know that if you are out drinking and you do want some really good,
Mi Gordito, North
authentic
Second.
Mexican food, Mi Gordito's open till like 4 o'clock in the morning.
And I do know they do tacos both ways. They do authentic Mexican, they do American style.
Yep.
I know that for a fact. And my wife's the first one, like, we're driving, she's like, I need drunk tacos.
Yep.
And we
they-
wind up having to do like Taco Bell, which I can't
his
stand. I can't eat
burrito,
that
his
stuff.
burrito, if you ever get there, I'm no joking, it is about that big.
Interesting. All right, tequila number 2. I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Esperanto Gran Centenario.
So it's this one right here. Aged in new American oak barrels to achieve a tequila of unparalleled smoothness and quality, whatever that means. The Anejo offers aromatic notes of toasted oak, chocolate,
Ooh,
caramel, and nuts. Soft and complex with a slightly sweet taste and a balanced profile.
I'm ready for some
Let's
chocolate
see,
caramel
man.
nuts.
This one doesn't hit you in the face.
This
This
one
one's
doesn't give you the,
Cabo Wabo.
it doesn't give you that, oh my God, I can't believe
what
what
This
this
is
is.
good.
Smacks you in the face.
All right, so this one to me had
pretty
like
good.
so you take the sip and it does, like you said, there's not that strong tequila smell hit you in the face. And then you finish it, and it has that slight burn of like from the American oak.
Did it burn down and then like hit in your nose?
Yes.
Dude, that, you can kind of taste the chocolate in there. can't
Yeah,
you?
that-
You
that's-
can
that's
just
good.
Taste the oak.
That's very good. I'm
You
not-
can.
I can taste the oak in this though. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
I think this is only like a $40 bottle
Wow.
and it's pretty daggone good for 40 bucks.
Yeah, no
Oh,
kidding.
yeah.
I think Cabo Wabo might be 40 or 50 bucks as well. I don't really know.
So-
But a lot of it is just because the marketing.
Well, that's the marketing. It's a rock star.
This thing's
I-
pretty good though.
My best friend that I'd known since I was pretty much born, grew up. He moved and lives in Nashville now, and I shared with him your bourbon last week, and he was impressed and he was jealous that we got to sample all those bourbons. He's like, I want to do that. I was like, yeah,
We'll do scotch next time.
yep, scotch for next time.
What
For
were we talking
sure.
about? It was scotch, and what was our pairing with scotch?
Like eggs and what is it?
Scotch eggs.
No,
I know where we can get some Scotch eggs over at the Hope and Anchor.
Oh, but
They
Yeah, we'll
actually
figure
have
out-
Scotch
Yeah,
eggs.
we're
we'll
going there
pair
after
with
this.
scotch and fish and chips.
Fish and chips. There you go.
Ah,
There's not many
Oh.
places in town that do fish and chips.
you just, even if you just do the fish, but I'm gonna tell you, it's hard to beat Culver's fish. I know that's not local and we're doing local,
How
but
No, I know.
How about
Culver's
fries?
does, no, as far as the fast food.
What if
place
we
with
dumb
fish,
it down and
their
just-
cod is amazing.
yes.
What if we dumb it down? Because this is not a city where you're gonna want to get fish. I'm
No.
just saying.
It's not fresh fish, but
Why
you know
don't
what?
we
You know who
get-
has good fish though? Hope and Anchor has really good fish and chips and it's always on the menu.
Well, because it's a British
They do very authentic.
authentic
and-
restaurant.
You'd almost have to do a Friday.
You have to do a Friday fish fry. That's
Fish,
what it
'cause
would be.
everybody-
Why
does
don't Why don't we do chips?
So just
Three
potato
different
chips,
three different styles of
french fries.
around town. Some really good ones, and we can judge those.
That's cool.
I'd be different.
Well, that would have been really good for this recording, considering that Wednesday, the 13th is National Fry Day.
Yeah,
Is it- is it
well, let's
really?
even.
No.
Yeah, it is. Today's National Friday.
National French
That would have
Fry
been a
Day.
great one for today.
National
but-
French Fry Day, George, but thanks for looking at the calendar ahead of
Well,
time.
that's why I brought it up. See, it was a great segue.
We should have done that. Wow, well.
But we're eating tacos, so it doesn't matter. So,
Nothing goes better with tequila than
no,
tacos.
it doesn't.
Dude, all I gotta say though is, I had some water, I had the tequila, had more water, and I still get that rich carne asada steak flavor in my mouth.
That
From the
taco's
first taco.
good. I'm
From the
telling you,
first
I'm
taco.
still tasting the taco.
Yes,
After drinking a tequila, drinking water, doing the same. No salsa yet, none of that.
That taco was one of the best I've had.
That was awesome.
And I don't like corn tortillas. I hate
Well, I
them.
think it wasn't. I think those are homemade though,
Oh, they're good.
because
Well,
those
most
that
of these
wasn't-
places are homemade corn tortillas.
because it wasn't your typical two corn tortilla that the one splits, you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
commercially.
No, that was good.
I think those are homemade.
Carlitos.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're delicious for sure. All right. So go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna ask, we never talked about what we did this last week.
Well, we did this last week. What was this last week?
Just over the
Over the
weekend.
weekend.
Just
Yeah,
over
we
the
did.
weekend. Oh, well, I'll start this time.
Go for it.
You know, busy, working, selling, showing houses. And then on Sunday, my wife and I had a day off. I didn't have any open houses to go to. No one wanted to see anything. So I shot out to Dubuque. Because
The
I love
winery.
Dubuque.
Shocker.
Shout out to Barrelhead in Dubuque. And if you ever want to go out there, Barrelhead Winery in Dubuque, John, he's the winemaker. John has probably 100 bottles with 90 or higher points
Wow.
internationally. He put Iowa wine on the map. It's all his state wines. He grows all his own grapes.
Really?
And he has 2021's #1 sparkling. You can't call it champagne because it's not made in the Champagne region of France, but he beat everybody in New York at the wine festival last year.
Really?
2021, he is the #1 sparkling in the world.
Did you bring some back?
I did not bring the sparkling back, but I have Leggy Lisa, which is one of his #1 semi-sweet whites. I brought a case of that back.
Oh, wow.
It is an amazing wine.
Interesting.
Just
Dubuque, huh?
in Dubuque. So we're sitting there. So we drive out, me and my wife, and it's funny because every time we're there, he's always talking about how all these people are always around. We get there, there's no one in the place. So we walk inside, we
Not
do a
leaving
wine
any, that's
tasting
good.
again. We see him. We haven't seen him since we spent that weekend in Galena.
Okay.
Me and Venice got there early. We go sit with John. We do a tasting. He goes, okay. And he pops open a bottle and grabs 3 glasses, says, it's too nice to sit inside. Let's go outside. So we sit out on the patio. He just starts pouring us glasses. And we drank a bottle of white with him. And then he goes, as we finish that last one, pour, he says, I'll be right back. And he goes inside, he comes back out with a bottle of red. And we drank another bottle with him.
And you can drink.
And then at 5 o'clock, my wife goes, whew, I need dinner. I'm like, yeah, we need to go get some food. And with that, friends of his showed up. And Leggy Lisa, who the bottle's named after, it's her parents, showed up. So then he was drinking with them on the patio. And we went into Galena, checked into our hotel that we got for the night,
That's
and went out for
awesome.
dinner at
Those
the
are great.
Mexican place downtown.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, but I mean, if you ever get a chance to go out there, and his wines are reasonable in price and really good wine.
Interesting.
And like I said, he learned how to produce wine. He lived on the France-Germany border for like 20 years.
Oh, wow.
He's a Vietnam vet. He was talking a little bit about some of that stuff with us when we were sitting there talking. I mean, just a great guy in general, him and his wife. One of his kids still lives in Spain. So, I mean, that's
pretty cool.
He's a guy that when you meet him, you think he's just a farmer from Iowa.
Yeah.
You know, collar on his shirt's turned up. He's wearing overalls, and he's just sitting there, and he's got #1 ranked wines from all over the world that he produced.
That's
So,
pretty,
yeah,
pretty
that's pretty
amazing
cool.
story. Yeah.
So I'm telling him with the way the market is right now, he should be investing a little more. You know, a down market, just throw as much money
Oh,
as
yeah.
you can at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, heck, speaking of down market, what is it? This is the 3rd worst first half of the year in the market in history. I think 1932 was the worst. We're down, as the first half of the year, we were down like almost 21% for the year. So it's a great time to get in the market.
Yeah.
I always say the best time to get in the market is when you have the money.
Yep.
Doesn't matter where it is, because otherwise you end up spending it on something else. Well, if you spend the money, then you never got in the market anyway. So even if
Right.
that money goes from $1 to 50 cents, guess what? It's going to come back to $1. Then it's going to go to 2, 3. I mean, that's the way it does. I mean, you can double your money in the market on average about every 7 years. I mean, it's just historical.
Well, it's the same with, you know, the equity in a home. Every, 7 years or so, you'll get 3 at the minimum to 7, 10, 12% equity
Mhm.
out of a house, depending on how the market is. The longer you live in a place, the more equity you build.
Right.
Well, that's a great time to buy my house, somebody.
Yes.
We got back to
We-
that again.
I was gonna say, we haven't talked about that yet. have we?
Well,
What'd you do this weekend, Josh?
Oh, we had a very exciting weekend. So it
Hold
was
on,
our-
can we take our third and then hear
Yeah.
the story? Let's
Okay.
take our third
Third
tequila. I'm
tequila.
ready for another
So
drink.
the third one, I actually bought this in duty free coming back to Mexico,
I'm
from
pulling this
Mexico.
bottle out of here, just put it a little.
And
closer to the camera.
I want to say that we've been to Mexico, like, my wife's been like 5 times in the last 6, 7 months. I've been like 3. And on the way back, I had that at the resort. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna pick that up on the way out. And I don't know what it was, but let's call it. Because the reason that we're gonna talk money with tequila is just so that way you have an idea of price point. I think I paid in duty free $80. Might have been 70, I don't know, 70 or $80. It's called Tequila Esperanto. Somebody else can read about this, so I don't read it all the time.
No problem.
But a light cooked agave with a lot of vanilla and butterscotch. It's actually very smooth. Me and my
I love butterscotch.
my neighbor who's Hispanic loves tequila, so he comes over. He has one drink of bourbon, he's done. He's wasted, he's passing out. He drinks half a bottle of tequila, he's going to mow the yard afterwards. I mean, it's crazy.
That's funny.
But it says it's a very, very light initial taste with faint notes of agave and vanilla. So let's give it a shot.
Let's give it a shot,
right.
gents. And you can go ahead and start your story now, the weekend story.
Ooh.
See, of the 3, this is the smoothest so far. It's very, very smooth.
Oh,
That was awesome. No, this weekend, obviously I've talked many times about my kids. Mason had baseball this weekend. Is their last weekend. We're in Watertown, Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
Just,
Love that town.
just north of Johnson Creek, where the outlet mall is.
uh-huh.
And man, we kicked butt. We actually ended up winning the whole tournament. We went 1-1 on the first day, and then the second day, which is our bracket play, we
Swept.
swept. And the team we swept was an all 8-year-old team that had been playing together for like 3 years,
Oh, wow.
and they were just a good, sound team. And we are a really young 7-year-old team, so we're just now learning the kid pitch and learning the game. And from our number 1 player to our number 13th player, somebody played a role in one of the games to get us to where we ended up winning it all. So it was cool. The whole team kind of came together for once and put it all together for the last tournament. And we ended up winning 6-4. Mason, my son, was playing shortstop, and he probably made the best play I've ever seen anyone under the age of 14 make ever. So he was playing close to second base. Our third baseman was 2 big steps off of third. They had a guy on first with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Kid hits a rope down the 5-hole, which is in between third base and shortstop. Our third baseman missed it. Mason slid, backhanded the ball, and threw sidearm all in one motion. And our second baseman knew to be at second base and caught it for a big second out. It was just
Wow.
all one big motion. And you see that all the time in the big leagues, but they've been
for
playing
kids,
the
yeah.
games forever. But to see 7-year-olds be able to recognize what's going on and know in their little brains, right? Because they're not developed, their little brains, what they need to do. It was probably one of the coolest things to watch unfold
That is pretty cool.
ever. So yeah, it was a pretty exciting weekend. And I got Qdoba.
Qdoba's
for
amazing.
the first time.
Like, is that all
I
y'all do
think-
is eat Mexican?
I love
Qdoba
Mexican food.
Qdoba blows away.
Qdoba has the best queso out
Yeah,
of
they do. They got
Chipotle,
good queso.
Qdoba, and Pancheros. They have the best queso on the block.
I love their.
And they have one
block.
in Johnson Creek.
Yes,
So
they do.
every time we go to Johnson Creek, I get
Fun,
one.
fun fact: my first cousin, lives in Johnson Creek.
Oh, nice.
I'm there all the time.
Nice.
Shocker! So you went to winery and you had baseball. Sounds like
It sounds like every weekend.
every weekend.
That's every weekend.
All right, let's do next taco.
Next taco.
Next
Where are we
taco.
going?
I think we're gonna go Cantina Taco.
All right, Cantina Taco. it is.
Cantina Taco.
Where's this?
Well,
They have
So
2 locations.
they have 2 locations. They have one
okay.
over on Riverside right now, just down the street from, across the street from Title Underwriter's office, the big nursery
Okay.
over there.
Oh,
That's where one of their locations are. This is
This is their
their
Is their
version.
version?
This is
This
their
thing looks
version.
amazing.
this is their version of
the carne asada.
carne asada
Yeah, this
steak
one,
taco.
this is like on steroids.
I can smell like the Chihuahua cheese. on
So we
there.
told them, we said when we ordered them, we want your carne asada steak tacos, Mexican style, how you make them. So
Yep.
It's
We
everything
want
else on the
as
side.
authentic as possible to what they do. So
Oh, this thing's heavy.
it is a heavy taco.
Oh
I'm
boy!
gonna put it down
yeah,
there.
put it on there.
All right, one bite. Everybody knows the rules.
So, Gonna bite from this side. It seems like all the meat's on this side.
Mm.
Have an apple, please. I want food. Oh, George got one. Oh my.
Wow.
In my opinion, this meat is very tender. It's very moist. You know, the last tacos
Delicious.
we had, I think, had more seasoning, but that makes up for it though with this, like the strips of cilantro on here and the cheese, and just that makes up for it right there.
Mm. Holy cow, that's good too.
That is a good taco.
Very good.
We're going in the same order. Tony, you're first.
It's good. The other one's better.
Good think?
Oh, yeah, the other one's so much better, I think. I'll give this, because to give it a 6 is too, I'll give it a 7. Since we're doing for 7.47897.
Oh,
I'll give it a 7.5.
7.5.
Mhm.
All right. All right, Josh, what are you thinking? Same order.
I think Tony's right. I think I'm going 7.6.
7.6.
That's good. It's different though.
Mhm.
It's definitely different, but I agree.
Mhm.
I think the Mi Gordito taco was a little bit better. And I'm thinking for EXP here, I'm doing a 7.6 as well. I mean, it's not that far off. They're
Mhm.
they're very close. It's just this one's it's different.
It's
I
got
think-
good, it's got good flavor.
It's got really good flavor. Like I said, that meat is just tender, moist, juicy.
this is like the perfect.
George is done already. His taco's done already.
That is a perfect tenderness that I want in my taco. So for that alone, I gotta give it a 7.9.
7.9 with the
Same.
line at home one.
Todd?
You know what
I gotta
also
give it-
noticed, though, is these shells are more like flour.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's more like a flour tortilla.
And you know what? I'm wondering if that changed the taste, because the corn one, I don't know, man. As much as I don't like corn tortillas, that one tasted better. And I wonder if this was in corn, if it'd be a different taste.
Maybe.
Because corn is a traditional Mexican tortilla, right?
So what you're saying, where's this one from again?
Cantina Taco.
So what you're saying is Cantina Taco didn't understand the assignment.
No, I think this is their version of a corn tortilla.
I think it is. I think that's their version of a corn
Oh,
tortilla.
all right, okay.
It's good. I'd eat 2 or 3 of these, but I'd eat like 20 of those.
Yeah,
I
that's why
agree.
And those are the street tacos you just take and go.
Yeah, those are.
I wanted to give, so I gave him the same score. In all fairness, I gave both of them the same score, and only because this was like melted in my mouth. But the
I think what
taste
made
wasn't
this
there.
better is if it had that seasoning, whatever
Yes.
seasoning they had
Yes.
on this steak.
Would have brought it into the 8s for
The meat
sure.
was more tender.
For certain though, whatever seasoning Carlito used
On this taco would have brought it in the
Would've brought
8s,
this into
even
the
in the
8s.
9s. Yeah, would have been a perfect taco.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It was really good.
What's that? We want to go into the next tequila?
Yes.
Of course.
Oh yeah, here we go.
So
1940.
1942, Don Julio,
1942.
1942. This is probably hands down one of my favorite tequilas I've ever had. And I know there's better tequilas out there. There's that Casa del whatever, that blue and white bottle.
I've had that Casa de Oro.
And those are like
Oro.
200, 150. They go upwards of like $500-$600 a bottle, because they got a black bottle that has a crazy looking top that you can't even get.
I've had their lighter one. It's more of a, it's a dark brown. It looks like a whiskey. It's their extra, they call it their extra año. And it was smooth and sweet. So it was the weirdest tequila I ever had.
And you know, I don't mind that because I've had it. I like the 1942 better. Now, y'all have to decide these tequilas, which one you like better. This one's a 2.5-year aged. Herbal notes, touch of chocolate, caramel note, which I think a lot of tequilas have that. Palates, classic tequila, earthy, grassy essence, toasted wood and walnut, and it finishes medium length and a bit wet. So
But you,
Ooh,
I
let's
think
go.
you can get the 1942 at most restaurants.
Everywhere.
Right?
it's about $30 to $40 a drink.
This one you cannot.
Mm-mm.
so
The 1942
this
is available at most of the higher end restaurants around town.
This is a tequila that you put in your mouth that finishes wet.
Which is weird, isn't it? I don't know what that means.
I don't, I'm,
No, that's what
it's
it said.
written.
I know, right?
Oh, is that good?
Man,
Wow.
it is, man. It's so good. I mean,
Wow.
you get a little bite in the beginning, like,
Little that burn.
but it's so smooth. Like this
It's
is one I could
nowhere,
just,
nowhere like that burn when you hit it like
No, it's got enough burn. That's like perfect.
that was great.
That's a great tequila right there. I gotta hand it to you. Thanks again for sharing your.
I wait till I bring
collection.
out my scotch.
Oh, I cannot wait for that.
I just did a
night.
scotch tasting at the house. And then, I'm doing, I'm gonna do either a bourbon or a scotch tasting with, Mike. He owns Rudy's.
Rudy Cigar, yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm gonna do something with him.
Are you gonna pair it with a cigar?
And then I'm gonna see, he's gonna do the cigars. I'm gonna talk to Benny at Francesco, see if he'll give us that back
The back
outside area.
patio.
And I don't know if I'll talk to Cosmo or something like that. Where everybody pays however they do it. I don't know how we did 25, 35, $50, give some money to Cosmo. And they get a little tasting, they get, some appetizers and a cigar.
Well, that's how I got George to join the Cosmos. There was
That- that-
there was the
cigar.
whiskey and
Yeah,
cigar.
was at
I
Benny's.
ended up buying like, cause I told Dennis, I said, whatever you don't sell,
I'll buy.
I said, I'll buy everything. And I ended up with like 30 cigars.
Oh.
Because I said, that way you make some money off this. So I just bought all his cigars.
Oh, I bought a couple of cigars that
Yeah, me
night.
too.
He bought a few. We drank great whiskey that night, and then
Sat on
he wound up joining. He was like, "This is what you guys do." I was like, "Yeah, we do steak
We need to
dinners.
do
and
that.
we
Yeah.
raise money by having fun. That's the great thing about it."
I'm gonna talk to Benny, because Mike's all in. He bought it a few years ago, but he's all in for doing a tasting there as well.
It's his.
Well,
it's-
they did tell me that. I stopped in there to get cigars about a month ago, and it was like one guy was sitting there sipping on his own scotch. He's like,
Yeah,
"Hey,
you bring your own.
You bring your own bottle." I've never done that because I've
You
always
can.
seen them at either at events or at
Yep.
the golf courses. That's where I grab a cigar here and there because I don't smoke a cigar all the time.
Right.
It's like one of those special occasions you like to sit and just have one. And he was like, "Yeah, you bring your own bottle. You can crack it right here, either on the patio or inside." And
Maybe I'll talk to Scott. He owns Pomodoros, see if he'll do like something. And then I'll bring the alcohol. And then everybody just comes in there and the only thing they have to do is, I don't know, maybe they got to pay $10 a head to get to offset Pomodoros cost. And then you buy a cigar, like, yeah, you can't bring your own cigar. You buy a cigar, like
Right.
8, 10 of us, like a smaller group. I think we might do that. But he said he'd close the whole thing down if we had enough people, but there's no reason to.
I would
Right,
I
right.
would definitely be interested in that.
So I'll
me
keep you on
too.
the loop on that.
Me too.
So that was actually really good. Like comparing now the last 3 we had, right? I'm not even gonna talk about the Cabo Wabo. That's like, that's let the kids.
That's smack
If
your,
you want-
that's smack your mom in the face.
If
To
you want to
me-
drink, a good tequila, and not drink the junk tequila, order the Cabo Wabo when you're out. You'll look like you know what you're doing. All right, that's my advice.
Right.
But between the last 3 we had, I'll tell you right now, this Anya, this $40 bottle you were talking about, that to me was super smooth.
Absolutely.
I love
That's
that.
that's my second. So this
This-
is my favorite right now. This is my second favorite. This is my.
This
third.
is my one right now.
Right
Just
now?
saying,
Really?
Right now.
All right.
My 2 is the 1942. The third one here in the middle, what was this one? The
Espinado.
Esperanto. That one had a little bit of that 1990s tequila
Vibe to
afterburn
it.
for me. That's what it was. And you got that taste. And I don't know if it was the agave or the vanilla at the end, but it says a hint of a faint note of vanilla. I got all vanilla and I got like a flashback of like 1993.
That's what this did for me.
See,
So-
what I like though is I can get this somewhere.
Right.
I can't get this.
You can get this.
No, you can get this. This just happened to be that I bought it in Mexico, but they sell this here.
Oh, do they?
You could buy
Yeah.
that. You could buy that at Benny's. It's on the shelf there.
Yeah, I think it's $40.
This is
I've
really
seen
good.
I've
though.
seen
But
that one
this,
at Benny's. I've
This
seen
is
the
another
1942.
class in my opinion.
All of
haven't
these are
seen
on the, I think you can even get this. Where'd I buy this? I think I bought this at Woodman's
You
and it was a
know it's
mofo to try to find
good.
it.
You know it's good when they just have skulls all
Yeah.
over. Like,
Just sugar
The
skull.
bottle's
the
cool.
sugar
isn't it?
skulls.
All right,
The bottle's
gents.
cool as
Well,
heck.
George, what did you do last weekend? Because we never
Oh,
heard what you did.
What I do last weekend? I prepared for my new house guest that I've got for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Pretty excited.
you got some big news coming.
Yeah, my family, so I'm Ukrainian. I don't know if the audience knows that.
I didn't know
but
that.
Yeah, I'm Ukrainian, and my family's directly affected by the war. Obviously, I've got refugees that are displaced in Poland. And I went out there, visited the border,
Easter
did a lot
weekend.
to try to help as much as I can. I raised funds, raised donations, sent it over, and I spent a lot of time trying to get the approval for my cousins that are in Poland to come over as part of the Unite for Ukraine. I finally got the approval, and yesterday they finally arrived. They landed at 4 o'clock in O'Hare. And then there was a cluster of a heck of a time because originally I had them booked through Canada, and days before the flight found out that you had to have a visa just to pass through Canada, which they didn't have. So I had to cancel that and had to find a different route. And finally, last second, found one through Rome. They got here, landed at 4. I get to the airport 4:30, and they got out at 7:40.
Oh, wow.
Through customs. They were put in a holding cell with all the Ukrainian refugees, and they were just, I don't know what took forever, but I wrote a whole dissertation explaining the legality with my signature, all the details, all the flight records, everything to make it easy. And she handed it to customs, and clearly that was
everything.
Make it clear, though.
Short of a poop sample,
Yeah.
you had to like turn in.
But your cousin also doesn't speak
Any English,
at
no.
all.
Oh, really?
So
my
she
cousin
only
and her
she
daughter.
speaks Ukrainian and she speaks Polish, right?
a little bit,
little
yeah.
bit.
Ukrainians mainly.
But
yeah.
Ukrainian,
Yeah.
will- and I know just from being, my family is part Polish, and just knowing that it's all similar languages, so they could you kind of speak back and forth. It's like how
Yeah,
somebody speaking Spanish could also kind of understand Italian. They're very similar
yeah,
languages. It's not-
Russian,
not the same.
Ukrainian, Polish, they're all kind of, you can understand it.
Right.
For the most part, but yeah.
So they're
So
just here for 3 weeks?
They came for 3 weeks, and they're in. I got them home, and tonight they went to Chicago with my parents
Nice.
because I basically tied up all night. But
Right.
yeah,
So
I'm
isn't
excited.
Chicago more dangerous right now than Ukraine?
Right? Pretty much. I pretty
Funny, not funny.
Yeah.
Kind of a joke, but not really.
Yeah, not
It's
really.
funny because it's true.
Yeah, I mean, guns, bombs, yeah, same thing, pretty much.
It depends on what part of Chicago you go to.
Yes. So that was my weekend.
You'd be shocked. I mean,
Oh,
even
yeah.
in Roscoe, we've had some interesting things in the last few weeks.
Everywhere, man, everywhere.
And my kids, we were babysitting for my in-laws or my brother-in-law's kids. We had 4 kids, and we were all supposed to go to the beach, and that's when the bomb got dropped that I needed to find a new flight, and it took me from, I think I got the messages because they're 7-hour difference. So when I woke up to messages 7 a.m. here, it's like 3 in the afternoon, and they're panicking like,
Oh my.
and I'm like, oh crap. So it took me pretty much the whole day. I missed the whole beach day, but we got it done. They're
See how
here.
tacos going while he's talking.
Let's do it. Last taco of the day.
No, I'm not cutting you off. You keep
No.
talking. We're just gonna pass the tacos out.
Yeah, no, it was
This one looks interesting because it's wrapped up differently. So
Now
I'm really
these
excited
are
about
ones
this one.
from.
Guanajuato. So
Guanajuato.
I don't want to say anything.
Oh my God, looks even huge, even bigger.
All right, so that one has one left.
Oh my goodness, is right.
I won't say anything. No comment. I want y'all to.
Now, it's not fair because I've had this before.
Well, so have I.
This is from episode 1 when you saw me dancing in the aisle.
Yep.
We were here.
No. That's the Belvedere Grocers.
This looks exactly like the other one. Why do they do double tortillas?
Because one falls apart. And look at all that. Look at all that juice.
All right, gents, one bite. Everybody knows the rules.
That's too big of a bite.
Eating tacos is not good for podcasts. I'll just say. We all can't talk right now.
Mm. Mhm.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
All right.
Yeah, all right, we just gotta go because I got.
Yeah, we just gotta do it. We got to do. What are you thinking, Tony?
I want to say the first one's still my favorite, but I mean, this is tied for first. This is like, I don't know. I'd give this like an 8.5.
Okay. Well, it's not time for first. Just took first.
I know, because you know what? The flavoring, the aftertaste is, oh my God.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd give it 8.5.
8.3.
8.3 from Josh.
Carly or Mi Gordito taco was good, but when we just talked about the seasoning on the steak compared to the other two, this one has it all. It has the softness of.
I just pulled a piece of the steak out of the taco, just to have it
the
separate by
the
itself.
softness of the steak with the seasonings of the other. It's both of them combined. Is what we
Mhm.
just talked about.
Mhm.
Well, I'm gonna give my score. I'm agreeing with Tony on this one. I'm going 8.5. That's, I mean, exactly, for all the same reasons. Well, for a couple more reasons on top of it too. I don't know what the price comparison is on each of these tacos, but this one out of the three also has double the meat of either of the other two.
It's sunshine, man. I mean, this is
This is
one of the
so
best.
good.
I know 8.5 doesn't seem like a great number, but those two are the best tacos I've ever had.
I'm gonna go CD lamb 8.8.
8.8.
You a Cowboy fan?
No,
No.
it just rang out in my head. Oh, you're a Cowboy fan though.
That's what it's.
Oh,
He has to be a Cowboy fan. He grew up during.
So Paul just took Sale to Kelly. So when he gets back in, we need to pull up a chair and get him in on these taco things.
hmm
This thing is incredible. So, all right, price point, right? So Carlitos or Mi Gordito is $3.
yeah, this was like 350 a taco, something like that.
Yep, and I believe, I can tell you, because I grew up it. They were.
There's a lot of food on this taco.
Mm-hmm.
They're about $3.50, $4 a taco.
All right, so we're all looking at, it's under $5 a taco regardless.
Oh, all right, Paul, it's your turn. Your time to shine.
We need a taste test from you now.
We left your tacos.
Oh, yeah?
Uh-huh. But you don't know which is which.
You still recording?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
We are still recording, Paul.
Where you want me to go?
Come on in over here, Paul.
Come over here. I'll
I'm gonna
scoot
slide
down.
over.
Here, I'll get it. Yeah, grab a chair.
We're being joined by Paul Fuca with Vision Insurance, who was with us last month for the sitting and sipping.
And he's now with us again. So
He's now with
he
us
did-
again.
He did make
And
it.
we're not telling him which taco comes from where.
Nope. We just want
We just
scores.
want your
Did you eat all of
score.
them already?
Uh-huh.
We ate our tacos. I'm eating mine. at the
Oh, I get
moment.
one?
No,
One
you
from
get
each.
You get one from each, so you get the first one right there.
Look, these are all down.
Do you gotta put the lime on it?
I did lime on every one of them. So whatever you do with one, you gotta do to all.
Oh, I didn't do lime. I probably
did.
would have made it even better. I just went natural. Like,
I
what
went natural. This is amazing.
Take your first bite and tell us your
score?
number.
We're
10.
1 to 10. We determined that anything in the 6s or below is like, yeah, it would be better if you had sauce. Anything at 7s is really good, but it's just not perfect. 8s and above is like, it's gonna be hard to get better than that.
Well,
Just so you understand the scale.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm surprised I can eat this because I didn't realize it had cilantro on it.
Are you
Oh, wow.
allergic?
No,
He doesn't like
just
cilantro
I
like
got
me.
that gene
Yep.
that you don't like cilantro.
I don't
I
either.
don't either. I
but
hate cilantro,
Tastes
but
like
it's pretty
soap to
good.
me.
But this is pretty good, isn't it?
This I can actually eat.
Uh-huh.
So right there, that score goes up just because I can eat it. I usually can't touch cilantro.
Yeah,
And
me
they all
too.
have cilantro on them, so.
What's your score on it?
Delete.
No, we gotta give the score before you finish it.
1 bite. Everybody knows the rule.
And then go to the next one.
Take a bite of the next one, take a bite of the next one, then you can.
What do you
eat
think?
your
All
taco.
right,
You gotta go ahead and score that.
I'll give that one. Give that one a 7.
Okay.
A 7?
7.
Here, I'm gonna grab you a water real quick, so you can cleanse his palate in between.
between.
So
I thought
Tony,
you
did
wanted
you
me
do
to eat the
anything
whole
exciting
thing.
over the weekend?
We went wine tasting. I hate wine. I'd like wine, but only for my wife and
Thank you, Josh.
she likes it. So I went, my wife and some friends of ours went out to the one in Caledonia.
Okay,
But before that,
The
we went to,
Catherine.
yeah,
Catherine wine.
yeah, they did the slushies.
right.
Oh yeah, my
And that's the
wife
big thing, the
loves-
they had
slushies
a-
in McEachran,
And then they had the brick oven pizza guy there, which
Oh.
is fantastic.
Vivos.
But we also did a Zay's, Chicago dogs and Polish sausage.
Presentation looks awesome.
It's a food truck.
That's what we also
in
did.
Belvedere. Man, I mean, hats off to them. I had
Where was that food truck at?
on the corner of, somewhere in Belvedere.
All right,
but it's they're on Facebook and stuff. They're friends of ours that own it. We went to Mexico with them. It's actually really good. Very impressed by it.
I will have to find them.
Yeah, Zay's.
I give that one a 9. I like that one.
Wow.
All right.
Presentation's awesome.
Mhm.
All right, okay.
Much more, the taco's actually more filled up.
And the last one,
Let's go, big dog.
9. So we got 7 and.
I don't eat tacos out
I don't either. I rarely.
Paul's not the taco
I'm not
aficionado, so
I'm not a,
he's just gonna give us what he thinks.
You
here.
can do like partial points. Like it doesn't have to be 9. It could be 8.5, 8.6. You can go to the decimal point, just so you know.
I'm curious.
This is my water.
Yeah.
This is that. It's not the Paul's.
That's Paul's water.
pretty good.
All right, let's see what he picks.
I still think the other one's better.
All right.
I'm gonna go with an 8.
All right. So,
I don't know, that one, I like that one the best, the second
The
one.
middle one?
the middle one. All right, well, that was the one from Cantina Taco.
Okay,
So right over on Riverside, that was Paul's favorite,
And Stewart Square, right downtown.
and Stewart Square right
Nah.
there.
I've never been to either one of them.
Damn.
Well, now you know.
Well, now you know. So it looks like here, I mean.
What did
Oh,
my peers do here? What do you guys?
well, we picked, you know,
Guanajuato.
We're pretty close.
Guadalajara was our
So the
favorite.
last one was
The last one's our
The
favorite.
last one was our
And
favorite, each of us.
and the first one was our second favorite.
Yep. So that one is.
Yours-
So
from
this was the
gro-
second, this was the first, and that was the
Yeah.
third. You
So
guys
that
were
one
out.
is the grocery store off of 15th and South Main.
This one?
No,
This one.
that
This
one.
one.
In the heart of a grocery store, I think that's the best taco in town. Period, personally.
And
And
then.
especially with the
last one,
sauces and the
first one
guac
had
when you put that
was-
in there. Ooh.
Was
Was
Mi
that
Gordito.
the last one you had was, yeah, I think that we all.
That
gave
was our favorite one.
Yeah.
Out of the four of us, that
To
was our
me,
favorite.
to me, the presentation on this one was great. The one that you
I
like,
think that was great.
it was a great presentation and it was
They're all
buttery
good.
smooth, like it melted in your mouth, but it didn't have the seasoning.
They're all good.
I felt that had the best
Yeah,
tasting.
that-
and
that
best
was my
seasoning
favorite
on
one.
it.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm surprised I could eat any one of these, because usually I can't.
Well,
touch
these
the
aren't
cilantro.
cheap.
These are authentic.
These
Yeah.
are authentic.
Yeah.
That's,
all.
and that's what we decided after the pizza fiasco.
Why didn't
last
we get
month.
Taco Bell? Just asking for a friend.
We were making sure that we got
The
3 different
same.
places that were identical as far as what we ordered, and
We
then
should've
just see
done
what
that
their
with
take
pizza.
of it is.
Mhm.
I'd love to redo that pizza one where we do
Well, we could do that.
one of
right?
the same, like cheese and
Yeah.
cheese and
I think
cheese.
just cheese.
Just cheese, yeah, I think
Well, that's
what we are.
purism.
Let's
I
get
think-
on to this last.
Yes.
Last one, here we go.
Tequila.
Espon-
So
Espolon?
Espolon Extra
Extra,
Anejo,
okay.
it's 6-year age. So it's one of the oldest tequilas that I know about. I'm sure they have older ones. From my understanding, my buddy was telling me, who's kind of a tequila guy, you really can't age tequila like you do scotch or even bourbon, because the climate down there, it completely, there won't be anything left.
Evaporates.
Whereas like scotch, you can age longer than bourbon because it's always mild, 60s, 70s, if you're lucky, 70s. So this says light, complex, notes of caramel, coriander, vanilla, oak, balanced, but vanilla and caramel take center stage with wood and spice linger at the back of the palate. This is about 100. Don't hold me to this. It's over $100 bottle. I don't know
my
exactly how much
God.
it is, but this one, I
This
love
is-
1942.
That was awesome.
This
I had
is,
the,
this is the clear, not
Yep.
even close.
I mean, you can go down, it goes down easy.
Wow.
To me, that's the winner, hands down.
It's probably my favorite. You know,
Yeah.
I do like 1942, but
Wow.
because it's easier to find.
Now, I did try just that one. What would be the other second one, you guys?
He really, John likes that one a lot. I like the 42.
I would try that one and I'd try this middle one, but
middle.
You don't mind
I've
drinking that
never
one?
had
You
the
don't wanna
Cabo
drink-
Wabo.
Well, if you
I
want, if
wouldn't
you
do
need some
Cabo Wabo.
fuel for the generator on a job,
No, we
Cabo
won't
Wabo.
try that one. No, we don't want that one. And this one was the second favorite one? you thought?
Yes,
Mhm.
Yeah.
1942.
They go back and forth for me.
Oh, wow, I gotta get me a bottle of that tequila right there.
It's good, isn't it?
that is
Yeah.
a straight sitting and sipping.
1942 is
Sitting
pretty
and
daggone good
sipping.
too.
Sit and sip.
That went down easy too.
Mhm.
Yeah, those are impressive tequilas.
That one though, I think is better.
That's
I
my,
agree.
I would say that's
Yeah.
my favorite.
Yeah.
Wow.
Espolon.
Oh, yeah. That
Espolon
was-
That's Espolon
extra.
Extra
yeah.
Anejo.
Yeah, that didn't have the bite that one did going down. After that went down.
and
it
I would,
still
I would
got really
agree. I
good.
would sip on the Espolon, you know, I mean, if I was having a glass, maybe a large rock cube in there or something like that, just,
Oh, no, you don't put ice in this.
why not?
Well, boy, it's
That's
like my
like,
bourbon.
Why not?
We opened up.
You know what, you
If you
Uh-oh.
hand it to me, I'll drink it the way you give it to
Yeah,
me.
you're
But if
right,
I'm pouring
you
it in
know
my
what?
house,
You're right.
I like a little chill on it.
So,
Because I like a little chill on my bourbon too, and he hates that.
Right, I like a little chill on my bourbon too.
I
He
know,
doesn't like
I'm
that,
an
but
drinker.
Jimmy Russell always says, we don't care how you drink bourbon, just as long as you drink it.
Yeah, that's great.
But I always say,
I'm a neat
you drink
drinker.
whatever you want, however you want, unless it's bond, then you drink it how I tell you to.
which is fine.
The only
That's why,
time-
that's why I
the
threw
only-
that back at you. You said that last
The
one.
only time I like ice in my bourbon is if it's not a good bourbon, and it helps.
Yeah, like I do,
Cut
like
the-
Woodford or
yeah,
Maker's 46,
Woodford,
which is good
yes.
bourbon, don't get me wrong.
No, but it's not.
yeah, and I'll sip it sometimes, but
Yeah.
I like everything.
Agreed.
I try to drink everything neat.
Me too.
Like
I'm the
everything.
same way.
There's
Well,
rarely, unless
when-
I'm putting beer on ice.
When I was down in St. Louis, I went to a little town called Maplewood. And there's this little craft beer place. And they also had a bunch of different whiskeys and bourbons. And they had a bunch of different French wines. And I sat there and I tried one of their wines. I'm like, no, my wife was drinking it. I said, I saw they had Suntory. I haven't had Suntory. I said, I'll get that. So I tried it neat first.
I can tell you.
And then my second one I ordered on the rocks, which was just one big cube, which I drank it well before that wine just cooled it off for me.
That was-
It was a nice,
Yeah.
I can see why the Japanese call that like their scotch.
Just scotch up.
You know, they make it in the same
That was
style.
good.
Sake?
Now,
No, Suntory.
my buddy makes glasses, like little glasses like this out of ice. So he's got an ice form. And so we were over there at his house, hanging out with him and stuff. And he brought that ice out. I'm like, what's this for? He brought a big old bottle of tequila and he poured it in there. That's pretty good because you just stir it around for a little bit, let it chill.
Right.
It wasn't bad, but still, I like tasting everything for the first time
Neat.
the way
100%.
it's supposed to be.
Yep.
And then the second time I might put like a little, like one drop of distilled water or reverse osmosis water. Just to open it up, but that's how I like, that's what I try to taste everything, just like that, no ice, no nothing,
I hear you.
so it ain't diluted.
So
That was fun.
I think we had a good time
Sales
with
ball.
that. Some really good tequilas. And it's proof that you don't have to spend a lot of money to get a good cocktail
Yeah.
or a good taco.
Best tacos in town, and they're like street taco style, cheap.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
$3 to $4 a taco today. Tequila running between $40 to $150 a bottle. So you can find something for every appetite, find something for every palate. So
That was a good time.
Yep.
thank you.
Yep.
Is there anything else you'd want to let us know real quick, Tony, about anything coming up with the business, with market, anything else you want to promote?
We are opening up a second location here in the next month or so down in Kentucky. So I'll be going back and forth between the two locations. So it'll be nice. It'll grow our business down there, which we already have clients, all over, but that'll be nice.
Right,
But,
you're licensed in multiple states.
And then
So,
with securities, as we go, you just get licensed as your clientele picks up. But now for insurance, we're licensed with a lot of states, and even with the market the way it is, we've got alternatives to the market where people can have safe money where they can't lose it, make a decent return. But that's, everything's good. We're started off slow this year, but we're picking up. I think all avenues of our business, all sectors of our business, the insurance side, the home and auto side, the investment side it's picking up.
Yeah.
oh, that's good to
Yeah,
hear.
everything's good.
All right,
Just gotta get that house sold.
get the household. But with
No
that,
offer
everybody-
will not be looked at.
All offers will be looked at. Not sure what we'll accept, but all
Wait,
offers
Did
will be
you,
shown.
did you say that you're gonna put in the description here, the link to the listing?
I can put, well, I was gonna do all my YouTube things now.
Yeah,
So-
there you go.
All right, everybody. Thank you again for listening to the Rep in the State Line podcast with John, George, and Josh. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do all the YouTubey things like we always ask. Like the page, subscribe, leave us a comment, share it with people. And if for the podcast, find it anywhere you listen to podcasts. And again, I looked at our stats for what we're doing. Thank you for you loyal listeners that have been listening to us from day one. You guys are staying steady. And 65% of our listeners listen to us on an Amazon Alexa.
Really?
They
Oh,
say,
see, that's what you're
Alexa,
saying.
play Rep in the State Line. 65% of our listeners come on there, but you can also find us on podcasts on Apple, Google Music. We're on Prime Music, obviously, Spotify,
Nice.
Buzzsprout. Anywhere you look at podcasts, find us, just look for Rep in the State Line. So with
Join
that,
us in the Facebook group.
join the Facebook group. We're still not getting traction with that. We're not gonna have that giveaway until we get to what did we
1,000.
say?
Back to
No,
1,000.
It was 500 members.
How many members, how many
1,000
followers you
1,000
have?
members.
You have 900.
We have 948.
Oh, wow,
We're getting there.
that's awesome.
So like it, so we go, so we give you this, so we give you guys some free money.
I guess I haven't even liked it. I guess I gotta find it.
All
There
right.
you go.
Well, there'll be links, maybe about some of the tequilas. There'll be a link to each of the restaurants we looked at today, and possibly even a link to Tony's house. You never know. So join us next week for episode 12. Thanks, guys.
See you next
Great
week.
seeing you all again. Thank
Thank
you.
you.